Let me tell you, this is a day I've been waiting for a long time. Billy and Sherry Dawson brought in this immaculate 1963 Corvette, the split window. It is incredible. We're going to take it inside Motorhead Garage and show you what makes this car great.
Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, and this is the classic American automobile. It's a 1963 Corvette Stingray. It's the split window. They are hard to find. There were only 10,000 of them made, and to find one this good is pretty amazing. And just when you think this car can't get any better, oh, it can, because Billy is here from Corvette Correction, and you've made classic cars like this even better. First of all, what about a Corvette needs correcting in the first place?
Well, we started this business with the first generation car, and those need a lot of correction. These cars were pretty good cars. We have made them better by using our chassis and putting the C4 suspension underneath them. They had a lot of problems with rust in these cars because people drive them in the snow and the ice and salt and what have you, but it is a pretty cool car. Technology has changed? Oh yeah, you know, all the stock control arms were stamped steel control arms. They were heavy. They had a kind of a poor setup on the rear suspension. This has gone to a 4-link rear suspension. It's all aluminum stuff. It's forged. Well, you don't have that in the later 5, 6, or 7 cars. That's one of the reasons we use the C4 stuff. It is stronger and it's nice and light. You're using better materials, lighter materials, and really a better design in a lot of ways. So what are some of the details? Let's go from the front to the rear, some of the things you paid attention to. Okay, well, for one thing, you get rack and pinion steering. And we use the whole front cradle just like GM designed it, so you don't get bump steering the corners and stuff like that. And we incorporated that into our first generation chassis, now our second generation chassis. And of course, we do pickup trucks and Tri-5s too. But this system works so well. And GM did so many dollars worth of engineering. I mean, I'm not smart enough, I don't have the money to do that. So I just copied their stuff. You know, we put all the hard points in the same place in the back, and it works. No, you're being humble. I mean, you did copy the mounting points, so you're able to take your existing car and drop it right on this chassis. Yeah, we use all the same body mounts at, you know, same location as they are stock. But you have a few places where you reinforce, like right here in the transition. Yeah, in this transition area, that was one of the big problems we had trying to develop this frame where it's stronger than the stock frame. And what we do in this area right here is we use a piece of this 3x4 3/16 wall tubing. Same as the cross member there? Same as that cross member. Inside this box, it goes from here to here and it welds in, and then this box slides over the top of it, and then it's welded in. And then it transitions into this area right here. It's a triangle piece that we put on this 3x4 box tubing to give it more rigidity. So it keeps it from flexing in this direction. We're trying to keep the flex out of the cars, and we've been able to do that successfully with reinforcing this box. The first one I didn't put the box in there, and it had less flex than the original frame, but it was still more than I wanted. You're always testing and you know, doing some R&D. The prototype was, you know, it worked, but it didn't work as well as these do. Right, and your engineering mind went to work and you did things like that, and you also added the gussets there that we see. Yeah, we put gussets in the corners of everything but the prototype frame, and that helps this whole area just really be strong. What about exhaust? I know a lot of times cross members, you've got to work your way around it, and people always think of exhaust last. I get that complaint from engine guys anyway. Exhaust is an afterthought, but you've thought of that and you've taken care of that. We have, and we didn't drop our cross member down low because we didn't want to put holes through it. We wanted to keep it pretty rigid, so we run the exhaust under the cross member, which still is higher than it was in the stock car because the other cross member dropped down and had holes in it. So we're under the cross member, and then we go under the rear end, and in lots of cases, like in that car, we bring them out the center, more modern looking. You can still take them out the stock holes, or, you know, we've had people put side pipes on these cars too, which affects none of this stuff underneath. Last time you were here, you brought a 62 that was immaculate, and I still tell people it's the best car I've ever driven. You mind if I take this one for a spin? No, you need to. Let's do it. Let's go.
Billy, this car is amazing. It looks incredible and it drives just as well. I know the burning question from people is, what are they going to have to do to their car? How much are they going to have to cut it up to mount it to one of your frames?
Not a lot. I mean, just take those two jack welds out behind the seat here, and we have a fiberglass panel that glues right in there. And that's the only thing you have to do. The body will fit right on the frame other than that. And the only reason we have to do that is because the bigger pumpkin, what have you.
Gotcha. Well, this thing is amazing and handles as well as any new car I have ever driven. You've really got a winner here. And anybody with a classic Corvette, with a Tri-5 or Chevy truck, you're going to want to check out Corvette Correction, because everything starts with a really good foundation, and this is a really good foundation, Billy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I've had guys drive these cars that own C7s, you know, 16s and 17s, and they said, we'll sell our car, just have one of these instead.
Well, like I said, you've hit a home run here. This is amazing. You can check it out at CorvetteCorrection.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this. Do not go anywhere. Well, actually, you know what? I might not come back. I just keep on driving.
Keep on going.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Blaster, working like a pro. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. And by NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, if you're a frequent viewer of the show, you recognize this guy. This is Danny Agosta from Steel Rubber. Danny and I have been working on this Camaro back here. It's a 68. It's seen better days, but it's going to get even better because this car is going to go to paint here shortly and get revived. And part of that revival is products from Steel Rubber. So tell the folks what we're actually putting on this vehicle.
So we've got the door weather stripping, the side window leading edge, and the U-jam seal. We're doing some test fitting. Like you said, this is going to go to paint and body. So we're wanting to make sure all the parts that we have are right. Once it goes there, we'll use the weather stripping to help with gaps or anything like that. And then take it off, paint, and then put it back on.
Let's talk about Steel Rubber. First of all, just an overview. What's the range of parts that you make for vehicles?
Right now, we offer over 100 years worth of parts, from the 19-teens to the late 2000s. We have most all makes and models that are American made, and then we're venturing into some international makes, Toyota and Nissan, and some more to come in the future.
Now, if I'm looking at my car and I've got to sort through all the different kinds of rubber that are out there for door seals and that sort of thing, it can be kind of tough to look at the profiles and that sort of thing. So how can Steel Rubber help me find the right piece that I need?
So we offer our website, which is year, make, model, and even body style specific. You just plug in what car you have, and all the parts that we have will come up, all the little bumpers, the main seals, all that stuff. And then we also offer a paperback catalog that's just for a vehicle. Body style specific again, so it's just for the hardtop, it's not for the convertible. There's a few differences in the pieces. This will be just what you need. You can go out to the garage, check off what you need, and then come place an order.
And there's no other place on the planet that does that. You tell them I've got a 72 Cadillac DeVille and the convertible, I don't know if they made the convertible that year, and you guys will send me a whole catalog of everything I need.
That's absolutely right, and yeah, I don't know anyone else who does that.
Now, I've seen a lot of other products out there. A lot of people are making seals, so why not just jump on the ones that are really cheap?
Popular saying is you get what you pay for, and that's true in a lot of ways. One of the main things that we have that sets us apart is we do all of our tooling and design in-house. That means the parts that we offer are ours, and while that sounds kind of bland on the surface, that means we have full control over design and manufacturing. So we take a lot of work taking something that's the original part off the car, reverse engineering it, and making a mold to make that part. And that's not easy. You got a lot of complex geometry that's on these ends. And I've got the ends here to compare our seal to the original to show kind of the difference between what our seal looks like and what something that you might get from another store looks like.
We've been to your place and we've seen that sometimes you take the original, you want to emulate it, you want to make it work exactly the same way, but then occasionally you find something that actually improves an existing part and it's going to be better than it was brand new.
Yeah, that's always a wonderful thing when we can do that. When we can take a part, make it perform even better than original, that's always a win-win.
And with new materials, it's going to perform better than what was on this original.
Exactly. You know, a lot of people don't realize that latex, which is what the old weather stripping is made of, is a natural material, so it biodegrades. EPDM is the synthetic that people use very commonly, and it's ozone and UV resistant, so it's designed to be outside and withstand a lot of breakdown.
Let's take a look at the steel rubber product versus what originally came on this car 50-some years ago.
Yeah, so this is the end we just pulled off. This end goes up by the hinge, right next to your rear view mirror. And you can see these are mirror images of each other. You can see that they're close. There's no mistake about that. And then something else that you might get from someone else, it is close, but when you start being real particular about the geometry, you can see that this thickness here is a lot thicker than what it is here. They do have metal underneath the hole. It's made from steel. Steel will rust and let go of the rubber. But most importantly, there's no metal right here, which the original does have. Ours as well, like the original, has the metal piece. And that part's important because that's what keeps the window separated from the door. Without it, the window's going to suck that down into the section where the window goes down.
Gotcha, so you need the metal there for sure, so you get what you pay for, like you said. Now let's talk about installation. This is something you can do yourself. Describe the process here, beginning with removing the old weather stripping.
Sure, so I was trying to get underneath one of the clips, and it's just rusted, it's degrading. So sometimes if you know you have a replacement, it's easier just to rip it off. There's some pins that stayed in the door. We got to pull the pins out, make sure it's nice and clean. And then it's just these push pins that's holding it on. So you pop those into the holes and you're good to go.
And same as the factory holes.
That's right.
Thanks to steel rubber.
Yep. And so we did a test fit here. Everything's looking good. We didn't push the pins all the way in. We'll pull them back off. It'll go to paint and body, and then we'll do it for real.
So yeah, clearly this is a test fit, but it still looks great, and that's going to make a really tight seal when we're done.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, you can check out Steel Rubber's products for your vehicle. They'll even print you a catalog just for your car. Check them out at steelrubber.com. We'll return with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, so don't touch that dial. More cool products like this coming up. You are riding along with Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Whether you got a flat tire on your ATV or on the old minivan cruising down the highway, it can be a bad deal. It can ruin your day and it can ruin your fun. It can be really unsafe. But, Brandon, you invented TireJect with your father, and you have solved our problems. You're going to get us out of trouble.
That's right. Well, we have two products. We have our off-road that's meant for your ATVs, lawnmowers, golf carts, that sort of thing, and we have our automotive tire sealant. And off-road, it's what we call 5-in-1, where you can protect the tread area, the sidewall, bead leaks, slow leaks, and even sometimes the older tires, they'll get the dry rot, little cracks. As long as it's minor and a low speed, we can actually get a little bit more life out of your tire with TireJect Off-Road. And the automotive, this is our 2-in-1 product, and we can both seal your bead leaks and any kind of tread punctures you'll get in the tread of the tire.
It's amazing. Now, you can do the sidewall on an ATV tire even?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just because our sealant is very different than the other products out there. It's a lot thinner. And because it's thinner, it's easier to install. And you can also get up and flow around the entire tire, hitting your sidewalls, hitting your bead leaks. And that's what makes it very different than the other products out there.
The one thing that everybody wants to know when they're putting something in their tires is this product safe for my tires?
Absolutely. All the materials we use, they're not non-corrosive, non-hazardous. Even for our automotive, it's also TPMS safe. There's no issues getting it through the TPMS valve stem.
Now, what's the installation like? Am I gonna have to take this off the bead, or what do we have to do?
No, that's another great part. It's super easy to do. Anyone can do it in probably less than 5 minutes. The pouch comes with this little adapter, which is just a cap with a hose on it. And you're taking out the valve core from inside of your valve stem with the included tool. And you slide that hose on over and you squeeze in the contents of the pouch inside of the tire, putting the core back in, airing it up, and drive away, and you're good to go. I brought my air nailer with me, and we actually used the air nailer to nail the board to the tire, ripped it out, and gave it a little bit of rotation. It sealed it right up, and from there you could just ride on it like normal. We did the same demo on the automotive tire. We punctured it in there with the air nailer, ripped it out, and sealed it up, no problem.
We've seen how to actually install TireJect, but what makes it so effective inside the tire?
Yeah, so TireJect is a really thin liquid that we talked about, and it actually is made with a liquid rubber, of super strong aramid fibers and recycled rubber tire particles. And so what will happen is you have a leak or a puncture in that tire, on contact with the sealant, the fiber particles and the rubber particles, they will wedge into the hole, and then that liquid rubber is actually what will bond and seal permanently on the tire.
Well, TireJect really works, and it's an affordable insurance policy against a flat tire. Check them out at TireJect.com. Now, Joe, at NHOU Protective Coatings, you've figured out how to protect our cars from rust underneath and how to get rid of the rust that's already there, but now you've discovered a new problem you're addressing.
So this problem was presented to us by one of our customers. And what's really cool about this is I was actually able to take part in a solution to this problem. I was not aware of the fact that many of these car manufacturers several years ago began in their attempt to go green, changing the coating on the wiring and the wiring harnesses, which are very expensive, from a petroleum to a soy-based product. Now, rodents already like getting in there in the first place. It's kind of a warm place, and now they really enjoy the taste of this new soy product. So we have a really big problem with the wiring harnesses, but we also discovered, because people are calling me and saying, hey, there's another application for this. I had HVAC guys call me up saying, they're into the wiring on the air conditioning condensers outside. And the RV people are telling me that, you know, are a big problem. And I know I had one during the winter months. So this kind of solved the problem. And as a byproduct, when you solve the problem with the mice, you also solve the problem of corrosion. And what we've done is we've put a essential oil menthol in there. We know they don't like to touch this oil. We know they're sensitive smelling. We also added something that it disguises predatory scents, like urine from a cat. Your nose won't detect it, but theirs will. And so it's a kind of a three-stage way of protecting you from rodent problems. And as a byproduct, rust.
You can check out the mouse out and all their other products at their website,
NHOilundercoating.com.
We are proud to be sponsored by NHOU Protective Coatings, and we're proud to bring you the coolest stuff in the aftermarket world. We've got a whole lot more coming up next, so stay tuned.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. The Last Coat cleans, shines, and protects. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. And by Go Fast Solutions, premier mobile electronic and motorsport distributors.
You know, most cars these days have power steering, and a lot of things can go wrong with those systems. Pasha, what are some of the things that can malfunction or just get worn out inside the power steering mechanism?
Power steering based on the hydraulic pump that circulates fluid through the system and create pressure necessary for moving the wheels when force is too high. And that pump wears over time. When the pump wears over time, it makes noise. TriboTech's ideal application in this case is when you hear some noise and it's annoying.
You're in the parking lot all the time. You always hear a car as they're backing out, and you hear the whoa, whoa, whoa as they crank on the steering wheel. It's a constant noise they have all the time.
And usually if that happens, many people opt out for replacement of the power steering pump, which can be expensive. We have very small application just for this specific purpose that eliminate the noise guaranteed.
Guaranteed, so that goes away.
Yes, or it's free.
That's amazing. How does TriboTech actually work to make that happen, to make that noise go away?
So it's two-sided nanoparticles that attach to a surface by one side and form a film, particle by particle, that compensate for that wear that was there in place.
So it's actually repairing the wear that's taken place in the power steering pump.
Yes, it deposits new material where it was gone before, so it's effectively a repair.
If I've got a new car and it has power steering, as most do I want to add TriboTech in my new vehicle as well?
Yes, for new vehicle after first oil change, it's ideal application to extend longevity over long time, often 2 to 3 times as much.
Well, TriboTech can extend the life of your vehicle. It can even repair some of the damage that's been done inside. You can see how it works at tribotech.com.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
All right, we are road tripping here in the Dobermobile. Got our water and our snacks and ready to go. Now the Magic Creeper comes in handy when you're getting ready for a road trip. In this case, we wanted to check the air pressure on the tires here. It's been wet outside lately and we're checking it on the gravel as well. So the Magic Creeper works as the perfect kneeling pad. It's gonna keep your knees comfortable if you got old knees like mine, and it's gonna keep your clothes from getting messy as well. It's gonna do the same thing for you if you're getting under the car. I've had some rattles. I'm pretty sure it's a heat shield, maybe around the catalytic converter or something like that underneath. So I went underneath to check what that was and bend some stuff back. and use the Magic Creeper for that. The Creeper got wet. It got dirty, but I did not. And of course, the Creeper cleans up really well. Just spray your favorite cleaner on it and it comes right off. Also, checking under the hood, you can use the Magic Creeper as a fender cover. In a lot of cases, you don't want to scratch your paint. In this case, not too worried about the paint, but again, it's wet, so I wanted to make sure my clothes stayed dry and stayed clean. The Magic Creeper was perfect for that while I was checking the oil. Once you get on the road, if you have an issue, that is when the Magic Creeper really, really earns its money, because you're going to be stuck beside the road. You're not going to be able to control the conditions. It could be muddy, it could be wet, it could be gravel most likely, and the Magic Creeper is great for that. A traditional creeper, there's no way it's going to roll on the gravel. The Magic Creeper glides right over gravel, right over roots from trees. It is the perfect tool to have along. It rolls up really small. It fits in your vehicle, maybe under the seat or back in the back. It only weighs 3 pounds, and it is going to come in handy when you need it. You'll be glad you have the Magic Creeper. You can go out and get one. Check them out at magiccreeper.com. It's the only place you can get the authentic Magic Creeper. And oh, by the way, it also makes a great gift. All right, we are bringing this thing into the station, wrapping up this episode of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. We're glad you came along for the ride. You know, we're going to do it again next week. We hope you join us then, because we got lots more cool products coming for you. In the meantime, email jeff@masterstv.com if you have a product you'd love to see on our show. From our entire crew here at our Borla studio, we will see you next week.